Hello. Hello, Fabian Mekon. Hi, Yeti. Hello, welcome everyone. If you can hear me, please give me a wave. Hi, hello. So our guests are here already. Okay. Hi. Welcome everyone. Thank you everyone who has joined us over the past few days. Over the past few days. Um WARIF, please could you request to join? Over the past few days, as we've been taking I've been going through World Maternal Mental Health Week, celebrating World Maternal Mental Health Week. Basically, PSN Africa, that's Postpartum Support Network Africa, is an organization that was set up in 2015 to support moms who are struggling with perinatal mood disorders. These are disorders such as postpartum depression, anxiety, psychosis, post-traumatic stress disorder, and postpartum obsessive compulsive disorder. These are all as relates to pregnancy and childbirth. So how do we support moms? We create awareness. We create awareness by going to hospitals, telling people and their families about postpartum depression, what are the signs, what to look out for, and things like that. And we screen moms for postpartum depression at antenatal and postnatal clinics. We provide treatment for free. Hi, hello, welcome.
Hi, Jama. Hi.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Finally, good to see you.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you
It's my
so much.
pleasure. My pleasure to be here.
Um, so um, so today we have the executive director of WARIF, Detutu Ajiboye, and
Ajibodu.
Ajibodu. Okay,
I noticed the error on the file, but that's fine.
okay. All right. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Um, so please, could you tell us a little bit about WARIF and the work that you do?
Okay. Thank you for me, Ijama. So WARIF is acronym for Women at Risk International Foundation. We are a non-profit organization. The organization was founded in 2016 by a phenomenal woman. Her name is Dr. Kemi Da Silva Ibro. I usually would call her a superwoman because she has practically abandoned her day job to see to women and young girls that have been sexually assaulted, raped, and abused. Our vision, well, her vision and our vision for setting up the organization is to build a society free of rape and sexual violence. And this we've been doing since inception in 2016. How do we address these issues? We address these issues in three different ways, three different angles. So we have something called the WARIF approach. The WARIF approach is a thought through approach whereby we tackle this issue from three different angles, being the health angle, being the education and community service. Health angle is our WARIF Sexual Assault Referral Center in Yaba, which is where I am now. At the center here, we have professional medical team that is readily available to render medical assistance to every woman and child that walks in here who has been abused or
Sorry,
sexually violated. Can you
sorry
hear me?
to. Someone says we can't hear you.
Oh, you can't? But can you hear me?
I can hear you, but
Okay.
someone is saying, can you hear us now? Okay, you can hear now. If you can hear now, give us a thumbs up, please. Can you hear us now?
We can hear.
Oh, Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, sorry for interrupting you, please.
Okay, no, it's okay. So
Thank you so
I
much
was
for the
saying,
feedback.
okay, I was saying, so there's a health. I was talking about the health pillar, which is the WARIF, which is the WARIF Center here in Yaba. I mentioned that we have professional medical personnel on ground ready to attend to anyone who walks in here who has been raped or sexually violated. The services that we provide here would be forensic medical care, psychosocial counseling, welfare services such as legal aid, provision of shelter, and welfare services such as transportation stipend. So there's some survivors that can't afford to come to the center. So we provide them transportation to be able to come and go back to their homes. We also have our 24-hour helpline for those people that aren't confident enough to come in, and they still require the help, the services that we provide. So we have a 24-hour helpline that they can call in to talk to any counselor to get help. The second pillar is our educational pillar. Our educational pillar, what we've done is it's tailored to accommodate boys and girls in secondary schools. So we thought, let's think of, we thought of the preventive measure to take. Let's go into the schools and talk to boys and girls on, how to, on what gender-based violence is. The students we speak to are between the ages of 12 and 16. The initiative is divided into two. One is called the WESP, and the acronym for WARIF Educational School Program. That's for the girls. So basically, we're telling them about gender-based violence, how to recognize a perpetrator, how to protect yourself, how to report a case in case you come across an incident of rape or sexual violence. The second one is the Boys Conversation Cafe. This is for the boys, and what we do is we keep evolving, and we try to see where the gaps are and how we can bridge the gap. So what we've done is we keep talking about girls. A lot of people, the focus is a lot on girls. I'm not saying it's bad, but we also thought, what about the boys? We're saying this is how to recognize the perpetrator. This is how to protect yourself. What about talking to the boys and telling them that you can be a protector rather than a perpetrator? These are boys that grow up to become perpetrators. This is what they've seen their parents do sometimes, in some cases. So we came up with this initiative called the Boys Conversation Cafe, whereby the boys, it's a cafe where everybody's lounging. They easily can share their views. We understand their mindset, and then we understand how we can change their mindsets. So that is another initiative that we've done. The third one is the community service. We started off going from door to door. We started off going from market to market to just go and talk about advocate about gender-based violence, to let them know that, okay, so we are here to help. You have a right to say no. You have a right to report if you've been abused. And then we thought about it, how can we reach a larger group of people? How can we reach, you can't just walk into the market. It's not easy to gather a group of people, So I said, we thought about it, that how can we reach a larger group of people? Then we found out that we did our research and found out that there are over 3,000 traditional birth attendants in Lagos. We thought we could use these people as our gatekeepers to reach more people. Traditional birth attendants are those attendants that birth children for women in rural areas. These are likely people that this woman will go and meet to say, oh, my child was violated, my child was raped. These are the people that they probably will go and meet. So we brought these people together. So far, we have trained 1,000 TBAs, and we've taught them on how to handle cases of rape and sexual violence, how to refer them. We provided them with IEC materials, with training manuals, and logbook. We're very big on data at WARIF. We make sure our data is, up to date. And so we give them a logbook where they log in cases that they've seen in, their areas. So this basically helps us to know the type of cases that are being seen.
Demographic and
Yes,
all that.
yes, where the cases are prevalent and all of that. So this has worked out fantastically well so far. So that's what we've done in the rural area. For the urban area, we have we've thought about we have collaborated with the police force. The reason why we did this is we constantly go back to the drawing book and say, where are the gaps, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
We thought about it that, okay, so we have people coming to the center. We've had quite a number of survivors say that they went to the police station, they were shamed, or they were asked funny questions like, what were you wearing? Why were you out at that time? Funny, questions like that. And, we thought, these people just don't know how to handle these cases. It's not because they're being mean, they just don't understand it. They don't understand the sensitivity of it. So we thought, hey, let's collaborate with the police force. We collaborated with police force. We have trained so far 700 police officers in understanding, how to handle the case of rape and sexual violence. So with our case management sensitization program, it has increased referral numbers of cases to the center because the police is working hand in hand with us. People are going to the station, the TBAs are reporting to the police, and then we are getting a higher number of referrals. So that's how we've been able to, till date, handle a number of 1,600 cases so far we've seen at the WARIF Center. Due to the, the lockdown, the COVID-19 pandemic that we're all aware of, it kind of, how the saying that says that, when life gives you lemon, you make lemonade out of it. We just thought about these people and said, you know what, we need to work, we need to help these survivors, because people are being raped on a daily basis. There has been a spike in abuse since the lockdown. There's been a spike in abuse, and we thought, these are people that are being quarantined with their abusers. A woman that used to find safety in the four walls of our office, that can run away from home, and then just a few hours left to spend with your abuser. A child that found solace in his school. The schools are locked down, the offices are locked down, so you're in the house with your abuser constantly. So more and more of these cases, we had more and more of these cases. So management provided PPE for all frontline workers at WARIF. We had a skeletal shift whereby we're open Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then, we saw cases virtually every day. That is, the abuse was going on. We saw cases virtually every day. But, we've had to protect ourselves to, reduce the risk of cross-contamination between the survivor and the medical personnel, because, of course, we don't know what the status of these survivors are. So that is us.
Wow, this is like even for you guys, I'm sure it's also, you have to debrief as well regularly. Yes,
it can be a lot, right? Yes, regularly. Yes, it can be, but we're hanging in there.
You guys are doing very, very good work.
Thank you.
One of the reasons why it was so important for us to have this sort of discussion during Maternal Health Week is because sexual violence, domestic violence is exposure to that is one of the risk factors for coming down with postpartum depression, and all that. And it can also trigger, such traumas can trigger, postpartum post-traumatic stress disorder, OCD and all that. So I'd like to know, you said you guys have attended to about 1,500 cases during the lockdown.
1,600 in general.
1,600.
Yes.
In general, and this is obviously this is just you because there's Mirabel, there are other people, there are people who probably go to the hospital.
Exactly. Yes.
And, wow. So do you have, based on your data, do you have any statistics for domestic violence in Lagos?
Well, so because we are members of the Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team, DSVRT, I don't know if you've heard of them. They are the Lagos State team that handle cases of domestic violence. We are in partnership with them, and it has helped us help a lot of survivors. Our primary focus in WARIF is sexual and gender-based violence. Is in the space of sexual and gender-based violence. We address the prevalence of rape and sexual violence amongst women and young girls in the community. That's basically our focus. However, the case of of domestic violence has been on the rise for a long time. There's a report from the UN that says 32% of women in Nigeria have been victims of physical and sexual abuse. And with the lockdown, with the coronavirus and the lockdown, DSVRT has reported a collective statistics of 50% rise in domestic violence.
Wow.
So far.
Wow. And these are the ones that have been reported.
These are the ones that have been reported. These are the ones that have been able to leave their homes to speak up or reach out somehow. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So could you take us through, like, what would be, since you're part of the coalition, what would be the definition of, because depending on whatever background you're coming from, there are people who normalize certain things as part of the way relationships are supposed to be conducted. If you understand what I mean, like relationships between men and women, or that's married or whatever.
Yeah, spouse or intimate partners.
What's the case definition of like domestic violence?
So domestic violence is all acts of physical man, and research has shown that anyone who an abuser is just trying to suppress the victim and trying to gain power over a man or a woman. So it could be either way. So yeah. So I can also, there are different people, like you said, it's a norm. A lot of people think it's normal, it's okay. Domestic, they don't even know that they're being abused. There are different types of abuse. There's physical abuse. This is, any form of physical pain imposed on another person. It could be kicking, beating, burning, stabbing. It could be any form of physical, hurt. There's sexual abuse. This is, using sex to in an exploitative fashion. This could be done by coercion. It could be done by guilt tripping or manipulation. There's also emotional abuse and intimidation. So it's this could be insulting and basically trying to let the victim lose her self-esteem. There's isolation, there's verbal abuse, body shaming, name calling, death threats. There's the one that is not very common is economic abuse, whereby the spouse or the intimate partner is depriving the victim, or we call them survivor, of money. You're the one controlling the family income and all of that. So these are the forms of abuse. These are the forms of abuse.
So you say it is more common or not common, economic abuse?
It's a lot of people. No, a lot of people don't know it's abuse.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
right.
A lot of people don't know it's abuse.
Right. Thank you so much for that. So I'm just going to interrupt and take 2 questions. So someone wants to know if you have any information on specific areas. I think maybe they mean like maybe specific parts of Lagos where you have higher cases of abuse. And then there's another question. Okay, yeah. So okay.
Well, we've heard quite a number of cases from Ali Mosho local government.
Okay.
Yeah, quite a high number of cases from that area. And but I mean, like we said earlier, those are the reported cases. I mean, there are cases in every area. Okay. Yes, but that's the one we've seen that is a high number.
And are these reported to the traditional birth attendants or to the law enforcement officers?
So it's both. So some of them are reported to traditional birth attendants. Some of them are directly to the police officers. They actually work hand in hand. Okay. That's makes it easier.
Okay. It's unfortunate that some states decided to outlaw TBAs.
Yes, it
You know,
is. It
because
is. But guess what?
they're
They're still
everywhere
working.
and
They
you
are
can't do anything.
everywhere.
You can't do
They are
anything about them.
everywhere.
They're,
They are
they're
everywhere.
trusted. Yes.
They are. They've been helpful in this initiative, I must say. They've been helpful. They've been helpful, and it's been very. We've had testimonies of them saying that this initiative has helped them as well, because a lot of the time, when things they see cases like this, and when they see cases like they don't know how to handle it. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
times they just pack it up and say it's your neighbor, don't tell. It's your father, don't tell. But
Your
they've been
husband.
enlightened.
Yeah.
He's your husband, don't tell. They've been enlightened, and they know
Yeah.
that this is wrong, and these are the steps to take.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take, because I want us to sort of compartmentalize everything. Someone is asking, how can domestic violence and gender-based violence be interchanged?
Domestic violence is a form of gender-based violence, so it's under the umbrella of gender-based violence.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then then what's the definition of gender-based violence?
It's basically.
Okay, I think we're having it on again. I'm going to go off and come back on again.